Have you ever looked at a picture of Earth from space? That big, beautiful blue marble we call home? Well, that iconic blue is starting to change. Over the past 2 decades, scientists have noticed something strange happening to our oceans. They're turning greener. This isn't just a slight shift in a few places. It's a significant, widespread change that has researchers concerned about the health of our planet's largest ecosystem. So, what's going on? Why is the blue ocean turning green? And what does it mean for all of us? Today, we diving deep into this phenomena to uncover the science behind the color change and why it is a critical warning we can't afford to ignore. To understand this change, we first have to know how scientists are even measuring it. It's not like they can just dip a color swatch into the water. Instead, they rely on a fleet of advanced satellites orbiting our planet. These eyes in the sky are equipped with special sensors that continuously monitor the color of the ocean's surface all across the globe. One of the most important of these is NASA's MARDIS sensor, which has been collecting data for over 20 years. By analyzing this massive data set, scientists can track subtle changes in the ocean's hue over long periods. What they found is startling. The data reveals a clear and undeniable trend. Large swaths of our blue oceans are becoming less blue and more green. This change is most pronounced in the low-latitude regions, closer to the equator. And while the change might be too subtle for the human eye to notice on a daily basis, the satellite data tells a powerful story of a global transformation happening right under our noses. So, the blue is fading, and green is taking over. What's actually causing this shift? You might think it's pollution, like a massive algae bloom caused by fertilizer runoff. And that's a good guess, as those events do turn coastal waters green. But this global phenomenon is different. The culprit is something much smaller, yet incredibly powerful phytoplankton. These are microscopic plant-like organisms that live in the upper layer of the ocean. Just like plants on land, they contain chlorophyll, the pigment that gives them their green color and allows them to perform photosynthesis. When sunlight hits the ocean, the water itself absorbs most of the red and yellow light, which is why deep, clear water looks blue. However, when phytoplankton are present in large numbers, the chlorophyll in their tiny bodies absorbs the blue and red parts of the light spectrum and reflects green light. So, the more phytoplankton there are in the water, the greener the ocean appears from above. The color shift we're seeing is a direct result of an increase in the global population of these tiny organisms. This leads us to the next big question. Why are phytoplankton populations booming? The answer, unfortunately, points to a familiar driver of global change: our warming climate. As human activities release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, our planet heats up, and a huge amount of that extra heat is absorbed by the oceans. Warmer surface waters create a more stable, stratified ocean. This means the warm top layer doesn't mix as easily with the colder, nutrient-rich water from the deep. This might sound bad for phytoplankton, but for certain types, it creates a perfect environment. They are adapted to thrive in these warmer, less mixed conditions. The increased temperature essentially acts like a fertilizer, accelerating their growth and reproduction, leading to massive blooms that can stretch for hundreds of miles. So climate change is not just melting glaciers and causing extreme weather. It's fundamentally altering the basic biology of our oceans, starting with its smallest inhabitants. This direct link between rising global temperatures and the greening of our oceans is what makes this discovery so significant. Now, you might be thinking, more phytoplankton? Isn't that a good thing? They're the base of the food web, and they produce oxygen, right? And you're absolutely correct. Phytoplankton are incredibly important. They form the foundation of the entire marine food web, feeding everything from tiny zooplankton to massive whales. They also produce about half of the oxygen we breathe. So, an increase in their numbers might sound like a positive development. However, it's not that simple. The problem lies in the balance. An ecosystem is a complex, delicate web of interactions. When one part of that web changes so drastically, it has ripple effects throughout the entire system. Different species of phytoplankton thrive under different conditions. The types that are blooming due to warmer waters might not be the most nutritious food source for the zooplankton that normally eat them. Think of it like a pasture suddenly being overgrown with weeds instead of nutritious grass. The cows might have more to eat, but it's not the right kind of food. This shift in the phytoplankton community can cause a major disruption to the marine food chain. If the zooplankton can't get the right nutrients, their populations may decline. This in turn affects the small fish that feed on zooplankton, and then the larger fish, seabirds, and marine mammals that feed on them. The entire structure could become unstable. For example, some studies suggest that the changing phytoplankton community could favor smaller types of plankton. This would mean that the food chain becomes longer and less efficient, ultimately supporting fewer large fish at the top. For the billions of people worldwide who depend on the ocean for food and their livelihoods, this is a deeply concerning prospect. The greening of the ocean isn't just an aesthetic change. It's a visual indicator of a fundamental rewiring of the engine that drives life in the sea. This isn't just a problem for fish. It's a problem for us. Scientists who have been studying this phenomenon for years are sounding the alarm. They emphasize that this isn't a prediction or a model of what might happen in the future. This is something that is happening right now, and we have 2 decades of solid satellite data to prove it. The color of the ocean is a powerful vital sign for the planet, much like a person's body temperature can indicate an illness. And right now, that vital sign is telling us that the ocean has a fever. It's a clear, unambiguous signal that human activity is affecting the Earth on a global scale, all the way down to the microscopic life in our seas. The researchers behind these studies hope that this visual, intuitive evidence of climate change will help more people understand the urgency of the situation. It's one thing to hear about abstract concepts like parts per million of carbon dioxide, but it's another thing entirely to learn that the very color of our planet is changing before our eyes. So, what can we take away from all this? The fact that the ocean is turning green is more than just a curious scientific observation. It's a stark and visible warning from our planet. It tells us that the climate crisis isn't a distant threat. Its effects are already here, altering the fundamental chemistry and biology of our world in profound ways. The blue planet we know and love is sending us a message, written in a new color. It's a call to action, urging us to take a serious look at our impact and to work together to protect the delicate balance of our global ecosystems. The health of the oceans is directly tied to the health of our planet, and ultimately to our own survival. Ignoring this signal would be like ignoring a flashing red light on the dashboard of our only home. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into why our oceans are turning green. It's a complex topic, but understanding it is crucial for our future. If you found this video informative and want to learn more about our incredible planet and the challenges it faces, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We have many more ocean facts and environmental stories to share. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.